Hi, today I'll be talking about the curse of knowledge. In 1990, Stanford University graduate psychology student Elizabeth Newton published a study highlighting the vast communication gap between experts and beginners. Subjects were instructed to tap out familiar songs like Rockabye Baby, Silent Night, and Happy Birthday, while another listened. Listeners tried to guess the song. Tappers were extremely confident that the tunes would be recognized, and estimating a 50% success rate. Listeners didn't get the memo. Only about 1 in 40 songs were correctly identified, a 2.5% success rate. The gap is an example of the curse of knowledge. The curse of knowledge was coined in 1989 by economists Colin Kaminer, George Lowenstein, and Martin Weber. They described it as a cognitive bias where a person with specialized knowledge finds it extremely difficult to understand the perspective of others who lack that knowledge. Essentially, experts tend to assume everyone knows what they do. To kick off this year's November series, let's say no to the curse of knowledge in our 4 simple steps. You're an expert, whether you're teaching a new real estate agent how to open a lockbox or explaining owner financing to a seller. You know more than you think. The first step to avoiding the curse of knowledge is to acknowledge it. Don't make assumptions what someone else may already know. Have you ever done this before? I have. How familiar are you with it? A little level study helps with any misunderstanding and any displanning. Imagine next you're explaining it to a child. This is also often called Freeman technique, which I've covered before, when we teach things to a young person and actually break things down in the simplest possible terms. We pan back the camera, provide lots of perspective, and then gradually zoom in on the detail. Avoid jargon. Jargon is almost always used to elevate the speaker and diminish the listener. It signals expertise, but also is the cost of clarity. Jargon works best when experts work with other experts. For example, EBITDA is a very specific way to describe earnings. In almost every situation in your life, you should use, say, earnings instead of EBITDA. The one time you use it incorrectly, I promise you, your CPA, analysis, and investor will tell you. And finally, tell stories. Stories are universal in their power to impact experience and wisdom. When experienced firefighters describe a blaze, they almost always use the framework of a story. The fire started in an electrical junction box in the attic and traveled along the roof line. Why? Stories makes it easier for us to consume information and process it into action. That's how fires are extinguished and how lives are saved. Speaking of stories, I remember reading about Jennifer Grey's struggles during the time of filming Dirty Dancer. While not a professional dancer, she had years of ballet and dance training before the filming. She said the hardest scenes were the ones where Baby was learning how to dance. It's hard to forget what we already know, and this may be doubly true when it comes to muscle memory. Avoids the curse of knowledge, takes practice and patience. You got this. One question to ponder in your thinking time. What are my most important client conversations, and how can I simplify them? Thanks for watching and have a super fantastic day.